Hello everybody, peace and blessings to you, and thank you for clicking on this video. I hope that this video makes you well. I hope that you're okay, that everything is alright in your life. If you are clicking on me for the first time, I am Letitia. I am 42-year-old. I am a 42-year-old homeschooling, home managing, millennial, immigrant mom of 5 children living in the US. And I'm in my backyard right now, and I just recorded a little bit of what it looks like from my perspective, what I'm seeing with my eyes. And as you could hear, if you could hear what I'm hearing, you could hear the birds, but you could also hear some sort of truck reversing or something in the distance. You could hear the traffic, but you can hear the birds, you know. I could see the grass and the trees, and just a backyard in which I didn't do any gardening this year. I didn't try anything. I didn't try to plant anything, try to grow anything, try to worry about stressing myself too much about watering and growing and coming outside. And honestly, I haven't really felt the mood or desire to do that, because truth be told, at present I don't feel home. I just feel as someone who is taking up space somewhere. We're placeholders here, you know. When we first moved here last December, and it was a rush move. It wasn't planned, you know. Things got going quickly. It was what we needed at the time, because we were in between homes, because we left the home, that our farm that we was on for that we were living at for about, maybe, I don't know, 5-6 years. I'm always bad with numbers. Everything is a blur to me. Time's a blur to me. Everything's a blur. So we moved to that farm in 2017, and then moved off that farm in October of 2023. And we spent 6 weeks at a friend, and we were in between homes, and we was kind of like waiting for a specific place to go, because we were dependent on somebody else. We were dependent on somebody else to arrange that for us, because she had evicted somebody from her house, the house that she owned, and she was waiting for that person to move, and he refused to move, even though like she literally had to sell the house to get this MF to move out of her house. And I don't know the details or the situation with that, but I do know that, from what I understand from her, she couldn't get him out. She couldn't get him out. And sometimes I don't understand the laws and the rules and the things that people could get away with, in these places. In America, to me, has become such a weird place. And honestly, America has been my home for almost half my life. I, as I've said in many videos that I have done over the years, I grew up and matured here, and my formative years were in the US. My childhood years and my teenage years and a very little bit of my young adulthood was in the island that I was born in, Barbados. And I came up here when I was 23, and I a month before I was about to turn 24. And I raised my children here. I gave birth to 4 American boys, actually 5, if you count the one that is passed on from here, that is no longer in the earthly realm. I gave birth to 5 boys here, and I brought my almost 1-year-old, because she's an August born just like me, my almost 1-year-old here. We came a month before our birthdays, and she celebrated her first birthday in America, and she's been in America ever since. So she's an American too. Her whole childhood and teenage years was in America. And I turned 24 in America, and I gave birth to children here, and I matured here. I grew up here. I experienced things here. So the only two places in the world in which I have lived long enough to really get to understand what living in that place is like, is Barbados and America. And the time will soon come. Don't know when that door is going to be open, but the time will soon come for me to move on, because just like in Barbados, there was a time where Barbados no longer served me. Even though I miss the Barbados beaches, I still have no desire to go back, not to live. I never I never loved it there. I never felt at home there. I did love it here, and I did feel at home here before I got to know it, before all the skeletons in the closet was revealed and all the dust under the carpet was revealed, and before I knew about racism, and before I realized that I was supposed to be a person of color. Before I was just me. I was just Letitia. In Barbados, I was just Letitia. I don't know nothing about being labeled by the color of my skin. I didn't know nothing about having to be separated by the color of my skin, being a person of color. And when people would try to address me as such, it made me feel uncomfortable because I never experienced that. That was not a thing for me, you know? And I don't identify as a person of color because I just identify as Letitia. I never understood that. And I just think it's a cultural difference. I just think that that's the way it is here, where there's separation of color, because this country, as I've come to learn, is a racist country, and the only people that say it isn't is people who benefit from saying it isn't. It's people who are willfully blind and in denial. And it's hard to be in denial now. It's hard to be in denial now because all the skeletons are getting forced out of the closet, and the carpets are being pulled up off of the floor so you can see all the dirt and the nastiness, and the cupboards are being open, and the fridge door is being open, and everything is being open so you can see the shit and the toxicity and the grossness, and so you can see all of it. And I know I've seen it. I've awoken to it over the years. I've had my eyes open since 2016, 2017, one of those years. I think it was just at the end of 2016 I had my eyes open, and my eyes never shut since. It was open the whole time, and I started to see the world. I started to see where I lived. I started to see things that I didn't see before, and understand things in a different way than I didn't before. And more and more and more things are being revealed, you know. And so that time is coming where I am going to have to let life lead me where it wants me to go, because this place doesn't feel like home anymore. The love that I had for it one time, that is faded and gone. And the only thing the only reason why I'm still here, me and my family is still here, is because we are a big family. We're a family of 7. So we're going to need a lot of money to move. We're going to need a lot of money to leave and start fresh. I don't even know where I wanted to go. I was considering going back to the islands, but not the island that I came from, and I'm not sure if that's what I want to do. To be honest, my dream, I don't know if my dream, I used to talk about my dream a lot. I used to have dreams. I'm not even sure if I have dreams anymore. I have a concept of a dream, but not a dream. So the concept of the life that I desire is, I want to continue on the path that I'm on. Like, I'm looking at myself and I'm very impressed with what I have been able to accomplish for the last 6-7 months of the year. 2025 is the best year of my life, even though it's a shitty year for humanity and the planet, in terms of us having to face our demons, in terms of us having to see what's under the carpet and what's in the cupboards and what's in, and then we don't, that is not only happening in the US, it's happening everywhere. So we could see the grossness, the worst parts of us, come out to the surface and see what happens when all the bad people are the ones in power. When they get the keys to the car, what are they gonna do with it? They're gonna drive us off the fucking cliff. That's what they're gonna do with it. When they get the keys to the castle, what are they gonna do with it? Shit on the walls, and rip up all the papers and burn the books and throw out the good furniture, bring in the old antique furniture. I don't know. They're gonna do all this shit. They're gonna try to push us back into the dark ages. They're gonna shut off the electricity. Burn down the house, pave over the garden. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna try to burn people's legacies, people that have done good things, rewrite history, make the villains the heroes and the heroes disappear. That's what they're gonna do. That's what they're gonna do when they get the keys to the castle and the keys to the car. Just drive us off the fucking cliff. But for me personally, 2025 is the best year of my life. I am the best version of myself. Gosh, I'm looking at my skin and I'm like, whoa. I'm looking at my body and I'm like, whoa. I'm feeling like the best version of myself. And I know that I'm not there yet. I know that I'm still, where the weight is concerned, I'm still way too high, you know. I know that there's things that need to be, this is a marathon, not a sprint. This is something that is going to be ongoing. This is changing my life for the better, for always, forever and ever, to unlearn things, like I said, and learn better things, and then pass on the things I learned to my children and to whoever follows my journey with my YouTube channel, and whatever ways I put information into the world to share what I learn. And it's to change habits and change mindset, get rid of the parts of my mind, like the parts of my mind that will hold me back and stop me from continuing on this path, and would make me want to quit and give up and not keep trying. The self-doubt and the fears and the worries and the anxiety. Get rid of the toxic thinking, or learn how to see it, feel it, and just let it let it move along and go about it business, as opposed to trying to say, oh, wait, stay with me, anxiety, stay with me, fear, stay with me, frustration, stay with me, self-doubt. Hang out with me. Let's talk. Let's hang out. Instead of having them hang out, maybe just like give it a cup of coffee or tea. I don't do coffee. Give it a cup of tea and say, well, I thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I see you. I understand where you're coming from, but don't overstay your welcome. Okay, you could be here for a little bit so I can understand why I feel this. Why do I feel frustrated? Why do I feel fear? Why do I feel what I feel, and what do I do about it? Do I focus on it? Do I dwell on it? No, I don't. I let it pass through. I let it just visit and go, don't stay. I accept that maybe these things are part of being human. We feel negative feelings sometimes, and most of the time we feel these negative feelings when from what I've noticed from my own experience, we feel it even more when we're not rested, when we're overstimulated, when we, maybe hungry and not well fed, when we eat terrible food like junk food and crappy food, put crappy things in our body instead of things that would feed our body the nutrition and the benefit, and give our body the benefits that our body needs to function at its best capacity. When we do that is when we experience the toxic feelings more, and we don't have the pushback. We don't have the confidence to tell the toxic feeling that, okay, I see you, have a cup of tea and go, So, like, that's why I think it's a very important thing for me, the most important thing that I could do to help me to manage my emotions and manage the things that we're meant to feel when we see these horrible people do horrible things, is to take care of myself, because then I have more confidence to deal then, and to figure out a proper solution and a way in which I could make a difference, you know? So in regards to what's up in the news, again, I keep saying, okay, maybe I won't do this daily rec videos that are was initially, when I started, supposed to be like 30 minutes, but then it became impossible to do 30 minutes because there's so much to talk about. There's so much to talk about and address, and every day I have so much to talk about that I can't get it down to 30 minutes, and some days it gets longer and longer, because there's just so much, and I still want to do it. I don't know who the audience is. I don't know who I'm making these videos for. I really don't, but I just feel like mainly I'm making them for myself. Mainly is just a form of expression, is a form of saying, okay, I'm aware of what is going on. I don't know what the hell to do about most of it. There's nothing I could do. I'm aware of what's happening. I'm hopeful. I want it to stop. I want us to not do this, you know, but I can't dwell on it because these people are determined to do what they're going to do. They're determined to drive us off the cliff. They're determined to pave over the garden. They're determined to turn off the power and, throw out the furniture and tear up the papers and just destroy everything. That is what they're determined to do. And I am not in a position to stop them. There are people that are in a position to try to stop them. So that's their job. I am not in a position to stop them. I am only in control of one world, and that is this one right here. This household with five young, five maturing children. You know, me and my daughter, we're gonna celebrate our birthday next month. My daughter's gonna be 19, so that means that we would have been here for 18 years, and I am going to be 43. And I love August. I love August because it celebrates another year that I have succeeded at being alive. There was many times that I wasn't sure if I was going to make it because I thought that I would be wanting people to check myself out, to be honest, if I be honest with you. So when Twitch, when I think about Twitch, who seemed happy, and then he was gone. And Robin Williams, who seemed like a happy person, and then he was gone. I do not, I don't say I don't get it, because I get it. I get what it is to be a loving person in a world that is unkind to people like us. What it is to be a person who probably just wanted to use their gifts to bring joy to the world, use their talents and their abilities to bring joy to the world, but also had to deal with the shit and the toxicity, and to see it and to experience it, to deal with their own feelings, deal with their own fears and their feelings of inadequacy. I don't know what these guys felt, because maybe these were people that suppressed their feelings, you know. But I understand why people sometimes check themselves. Well, I actually heard my husband say that just now. We were talking about the earthquake in Russia and how, now there's a tsunami warning in Hawaii and other places. And I was saying, I feel like that may be Mother Earth's way of letting people know that we are in this freaking world together. We are connected to each other, and we affect each other. You know what I mean? And there's no separation, really. Separation is a frigging illusion. Like, we literally all on the same planet, and this planet is connected, and what affects one place will affect everywhere, you know in different ways. And I am so tired of the ignorant people being in charge, the people who don't get it. You know, there's this show on Apple TV Plus that I was watching with my children. But my son loved it. One of my sons surprised me and loved it. He don't even like shows with real life people really. He like cartoons, animations and stuff. He don't really like what he would feel as an adult show, even though Jane is not an adult show. But we watched a show called Jane, and Jane, she's named after Jane Goodall, and she is a young activist, Jane, that would change the world, you know, where she is. She lived in an apartment building, and she affected the entire everybody in her neighborhood, and she would influence people and encourage people to do certain things that they wouldn't normally do, like, you know, separate the batteries, don't throw the batteries in the trash, separate them, and to recycle, or, you know, how was the best way to dispose of batteries, and to, you know, to just make good, eco-friendly, planet-friendly, animal-friendly choices, and also to think about the animals that go in extinct and that are endangered, and to support organizations that are trying to save these animals, trying to take care of these animals, and stuff like that. And you know, sometimes some episodes will make me cry. Whew. Sometimes some episodes would make me cry, like, you know, because I think that's where I would cry more than I would, you know, I think that's where my tears would fall. Like, my tears fall when I see good people doing good things more than when I see bad things happening to people, because, like, I know that I can't change the fact that bad things happening to people, even good people, innocent people, people that don't deserve it. Like, I'm reading these headlines and not reading all these stories, because I really can't read all the stories and articles and things that people write. I really can't. I just can't. I can't. But I read the little headlines and the descriptions of the article, or the little, what do you call it, the summary paragraphs or whatever. And you're reading a lot about what's happening in Gaza, you know, genocide and famine and starvation and all these different things. And I really do, and I keep saying, this is not nature made. This is not planet Earth starving these people. This is human caused. You know, this is caused by humanity, by human beings, bad leaders, evil people in charge. You know, and there's so many evil people in charge right now. And, you know, another thing that I saw, I'm gonna, like, finish this recording in my serenity room, and I will show you the screenshots and where the information came from. But another thing I saw is that, you know, the EPA, I think it's the EPA, environmental, I think it's the EPA, environmental, I don't remember, but anyway, basically, retaining facts is hard. Basically, the Trump administration is basically having the organization there that was created to protect the planet and protect the environment, do huge deregulations, like, you know, to remove protections, you know, the protections that will help us have clean water and clean air and all these things, protect us from corporations and villains that don't do the right thing, that evil corporations that don't do the right thing and don't care about the planet and just thinking about profit and the bottom line. And basically, to deregulate the to have this, like, huge deregulation of things, of clean air, clean water, clean all this stuff. I'm gonna show you the actual proper information when I go upstairs, because I put so much information in my head that sometimes retaining facts is very difficult. That's why I do the showing of the actual thing, and I try to read what I saw so I could be more accurate, because I can't really like share these things on my head. Especially I don't like the idea of share wrong information. I know when I talk, I do. That's why I have to edit and all that too, because I try to correct myself when I'm in my editing, because I do know that when I talk, I say the wrong things in the wrong way, because I haven't been like some people that have been studying and learning these things for a long time. I didn't go to college. I didn't study a lot of things. I don't. I'm googling my knowledge, really, my modern knowledge. I learned the basics. I wasn't in school to the last time I was in school. I was 19 years old, and since then I was an adult in the world, just getting married and having children and working. So, and I had a lot of children. I gave birth to 6 children, you know, and I been trying to raise them to the best of my ability, while struggling with my anxieties, while struggling with my insecurities, while struggling with feeling like shit, you know. And I wasn't this confident person that I am now. I was a very, very low self-esteem, anxious 20 something, 30 something year old mother. I only overcame my anxiety either like uh, just before I turned 40. So my 30s was shit, and my 20s was shit in terms of my confidence. That's why now that I am confident, now that I'm developing the confidence that I have always wanted to have, I am freeing myself. I am freeing myself. I'm doing things I wouldn't normally do, dress up and train things, and I'm doing things I don't normally do, and because of that, I'm becoming the best version of myself, and I'm loving it. I am loving it. And that is why I'm glad to have this channel, because I can share it with other people. And if I'm not sharing it with other people, at least I'm talking about it. This is my way of journaling. This is an open journal. An open journal of my perspective in my life. Because when I try to write things down, I write it crappy. I don't, it it's just, I write it crappy. So speaking it sometimes is easier, you know. It's easier, and it's in the moment, and it's more raw and genuine than when I try to write it down later, you know. I hate my ability to journal is, sometimes you watch these movies and you see people's journals and you're like, oh, look at how well written that is, like, and how the handwriting is. And when people are reading other people's journals that they left a long time ago, well, my journal's gonna be crap. My children are gonna be like, oh, my mom, I don't know what my children are gonna think, but my journals will be like, like have scribbles and missing words and bad grammar, not well written at all, because I don't know why. I just write like crap. Um, but so speaking it is better. Speaking it is better. It's more in the moment. It's better. You get I get to represent the feelings along with it, because you can't really put across feelings in words. So you get feelings along with it. It's a different kind of energy speaking it. So doing this public journal is good for me. It's good for my soul. It's good for me in this 2025 thing. So even if I only like recording for me, and like I said, my mama that watch my videos, and maybe people that lurking in the background that watch but don't say anything, that's what it is. That's the season that I'm in, and that's what it is for now. But I need this. It helps me to keep on my journey and keep moving forward. So thank you for listening. I will continue this video in the Serenity Room. I just want to say that, well, first of all, it is July 30th. I don't say that anymore. This is a daily Lightworkers POV, a summer series while I'm not homeschooling right now. A summer series of just capturing things that are happening right now in the world, and in the external world, and in my world. And today is Wednesday, July 30th, 2025. And, I got up late this morning. Because I couldn't sleep last night, so I didn't fall asleep. I had to go for the big guns and take allergy medicine, even though I didn't have any allergies. I just needed to sleep because I wanted to not be sleepy the next day. I finally fell asleep, but it was sometime after 1, and I got up around 8 this morning. Got up late. I got up around 7, actually. Actually, no, I got up at 5:05, and then I got up at 7:07. That's crazy, right? Went back to sleep, got up at 7:07 or something like that. Um, so I can finish this in the Serenity Room. Thanks for watching. Hey, good morning. Blessings to you. Thank you for clicking on this video. I'm going to try my best, my very, very best to keep it short, even though I'm a talker. I'm going to try my best to keep it short. It's early in the morning. It is around 6 in the morning. I am in my yard, in my patio, looking around at this yard that is not really touched or troubled by us too much this year. We decided not to bother our heads about a garden, about growing much, much of anything, about focusing on gardening whatsoever. So everything just looks untouched by us, really. And for this summer garden season, we just enjoyed what sprung upon its own. We didn't do anything. I had some pleasant surprises and I had some disappointments. Last year, I had planted a lot of annuals in this little rock, potentially beautiful rock garden right there. It has like big rocks around it in a kind of circular shape. And I planted a lot of annuals and I planted a lot of perennials in there last year, with hopes and excitement to see them grow back the following year. But what's in there right now is just lots and lots of weed and grass. Our home is right next to the woods. Right next to the woods right there. And I don't know how well I'm pointing at this thing again. But I'll try to turn the camera around when I finish. My camera isn't designed for me to flip it while recording. So I don't know if any phones do that, but mine does not, annoyingly. So anyway, we're next to the woods. So deer is like a family of deer always come through the woods, and they eat whatever they feel like that's in the yard. So last summer, the things that I planted, the deer ate. And I was hoping that maybe they wouldn't eat it down to the root. I was hoping that despite the fact that they ate the tops and they ate down everything, that this stuff would still grow back. But disappointingly enough, not much grew back. Just one or two things grew back. Right now it's just overrun by grass, and that was a disappointment. But some pleasant surprises that I had this year was that some petunias grew back in a galvanized container that I have over on the other side, and even mums grew back, and I've never experienced that before. I didn't even know petunias come back, but some petunias came back. At first I thought it was weed, and I pull out some, and some mums are growing in there, and like I said, I never experienced that, so that was a pleasant surprise. One of the things that we did plant this year, we planted it early on this spring, is potatoes, because we bought a big giant sack of potatoes from a local grocery, local grocery that sells like stuff from farms and stuff, like a little a mini fresh food farm, fresh stuff grocery. And and the potatoes in that sack were already starting to like sprout, and so they weren't edible. They were already in that condition. They weren't edible, but you know, we figured we could probably just put them in the ground and see if we could grow some potatoes. So we did put them in the ground. But to be honest with you, I watered it some. But I let Mother Nature really take care of it mostly. It rained a lot this spring, which I was extremely grateful for. It didn't rain as much during summer, but it did rain a bit during summer too. And now the plants, the potato plants, are dying off, and they were in there for a long time. They were in there since maybe May. I don't know how long, but they were in there for months. And the plants are dying off. I didn't water them much. I watered them a little, but not a lot. And so we gotta wait and see. Here's really buggy too. So we gotta wait and see what comes of that, if we do get any potatoes or not. But those are just little pleasant garden, outdoor surprises. And I just wanted to make this video. I promised myself I wasn't going to record this morning because I have so many videos to edit. So I promised that I wasn't going to record this morning. I was just going to come outside, maybe talk to the divine, talk to nature, talk to Mother Earth, talk to myself, and chill and enjoy the enjoy the patio a little bit without recording. But I came outside and a thought hit me, and I said, you know what, let me just capture this thought. Let me try to document this thought. So that's basically what I wanted to document, is that this is the second time that we did this when in the period of our life where we do gardening, and and since 2000 and I don't know how long, since 2015 has been our life of gardening and doing this kind of stuff started. And there were almost in every single house that we've ever lived in, there was always a season where we just didn't do nothing. We were like, okay, we ain't doing nothing this season. And this season in 2025 happened to be one of those seasons where we're not doing anything. We are just letting Mother Nature do what Mother Nature is going to do. Let the land do whatever it's going to do. And we're going to just enjoy our season and rest when it comes to gardening. And like I have mentioned before, me, I am a deep thinker, and I think in metaphors and visions and ideas. So as I mentioned before, I believe that the garden I was meant to work on this year is the garden in my soul, the garden of my body, the garden in my soul, this garden. And August is usually my sunflower month. I get to enjoy sunflowers. I always grow sunflowers most of the time, with a few exceptions. I've always grown sunflowers for summer. And this is one summer that I won't be doing that I didn't do that. There's no sunflowers to bloom for me to enjoy this year. And there wasn't any last year either, but so it's been 2 years since I've experienced my own sunflower growth and blossoming. But my friend, she grew sunflowers this year, and she was sending me pics of her sunflowers, and I appreciate that, because I feel like I am a part of the inspiration for her envisioning herself growing sunflowers. I appreciate that. I feel like my family and me growing my sunflowers and her enjoying my sunflowers for so many years has been an inspiration in her doing it this year. So I get to enjoy her sunflowers and get to enjoy her excitement in regards to her sunflowers. I think this is her second year growing sunflowers. Well, this is my second year not growing sunflowers in a long time. But this year, my sunflower journey is different. This year, as I've said, I am going to be the sunflower, and wait for August, which is starting tomorrow. Wait for August, and you will see what that means. You will see what that means when I say I'm going to be the sunflower in August. So thank you for watching. Peace and blessings. And I'm going to talk to the divine. I'm going to talk to Mother Nature. I'm going to talk to my higher self. I'm going to quiet my mind and have a conversation with the universe around me and enjoy my morning. And I got a lot of videos to edit and a lot of things to work on. So I'm just grateful and thankful, and I just wanted to make a short video to say that, to express my gratitude, and to also ask if you are one of those people that would prefer to click on shorter videos and longer ones, and you see all my long videos that I have done lately, I would say just give them a shot, because you might enjoy them. Just watch it in stages or whatever, give my long videos a shot, because I say a lot of good stuff in there. It's just that's how the conversation flows, and that's how my mind goes. I wanted to keep them shorter than they have been, but that's not the way it went. They turned out to be longer videos than I anticipated, but give them a chance. Thank you for watching. Peace and blessings, and have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day, week, month, summer, and third and fourth quarter of 2025. We are going to make it to the end. I promise you, we're going to make it to the end. And this year is going to end so much better than we anticipate. I know it. I just know it in my soul. So hang in there. Keep the faith. Trust the process. Keep working on you. Keep working on start with you first. Start with you first. And then once you start with you, then you will know what your calling is in the external, what you're supposed to be doing to help in this external fight for the future, and this external battle for the future of our world. A world based on love and faith and joy and peace and harmony, as opposed to a world run by narcissists based on hate and fear and anxiety and stress and struggle and suffering and pain and all that bullshit. We could do better than that. We could move into a new earth frequency. What does that mean? Just what, you don't even gotta call it that if you think that song too woo for you. We could just move into a better world, something better than this. I promise you we can. We're capable of it. We just have to go through this process so that as many people as possible could wake up and see what it has been under the surface the whole time. What has been under the rug, what has been the skeletons in the closet, the dust under the rug, the things under the seat cushions, all the things that were hidden are going to be revealed, whether the people who want to cover it up and hide it and hold on to keeping them buried, whether they want to or not, the truth will find itself free. The truth will come out and be set free. And once the truth come out, people are gonna have to face their shadows and their demons and their triggers and their traumas, and they're gonna have to clear them. They're gonna have to clear the traumas and the triggers and deal with this shit. Deal with the shit that they haven't been dealing with for a long time. Deal with their delusions and the things that they have learned that they have to unlearn. Deal with what, the things they didn't understand, the things they didn't get, the things that they misunderstood. Deal with all the crap. Clear the karma and be free. Be free. And some people will choose to suffer. And I believe that hell is the chains that we forge for ourselves. Hell is us keeping ourselves in suffering and in prison, because we refuse to break our own chains, because nobody's going to break our chains for us. We have to break our own chains, and that's how it's always ever been. Nobody is going to save us. We have to save ourselves. That's how it's always been. People can inspire, people can encourage, people can hold out their hand and they will tell you to take it. But guess what? You still have to take it. They could put you on their back and tell you hang on for dear life while I swim us to safety, while I take us to safety. But guess who gotta hang on for dear life? You do. Yes, people could save you to a certain extent, but you gotta meet them part of the way. They can't carry you the entire way. They can't hold on for you. They can't run for you. So again, no one's gonna save us. We have to save ourselves. This is the way it is. It's a hard truth, but that's the way it is. Thank you for listening. Once again, I wanted it to be a shorter video than this, but this is how it goes. This is me. I am Letitia. I am blessed. I am favored. I am loved. I am loving. I am empathetic. I am an observer. I am an INFJ empath. I am everything that I am. I am that I am. You know, I am here, I am present, I am worthy, I am abundant, I am amazing, I am all the good stuff. I hope you are too. Peace and blessings. Oh, all right, I just coming outside just to show y'all what I was talking about these galvanized containers and the potato beds. And I'm being harassed by bugs instantly. It happens every damn time I come outside the house. I don't enjoy it much. Like they swarm you and surround your head every single damn time. All right, so this just happened all on its own. I didn't do any planting this year. These petunias grew back. These mums grew back. It already died, you know, because again, I told you I didn't do any watering either. Everything that has happened in this bed happened on its own. The petunias grew on their own. The plants are staying alive on their own. I watered a little bit and then I just got tired of it. I just really was not in the mood this summer. So I just let Mother Nature do what Mother Nature's gonna do. Maybe I'll try to water some more so I can have some mums. Have some mums for the fall. We'll see. And this is annuals that I planted in here. This is the only annual. Why do I keep saying annuals? I keep saying the wrong thing. The only perennials that I planted in here, and they grew back on their own. Again, like I said, I barely did anything. I barely did it. I was terrible. I was a terrible gardener this year. I tried to do something at first, and then I realized I just wasn't into it. Here's the potato beds that looked a whole lot better, obviously. These potatoes got planted, I think, in May, and some of them still, like you see, they got like new leaves sprouting. Even though they look like they're dying, they still got a little life left in them. I don't know what's under the surface there. I don't know if I got potatoes underneath there. I don't know what's going on underneath there. Hardly watered it. Watered it a little bit, and then Mother Nature do the rest of the watering. It did rain a good amount in spring and a reasonable amount in summer. Hopefully that was enough. Hopefully that was enough to grow something. But I just wasn't into it. I was preoccupied with other things. So I just let Mother Nature do what Mother Nature's gonna do. Help me out this time and see what becomes of, you know, just see how things play out. So I just wanted to share that to end this video that was supposed to be short, but no video that I made, any video that I intend to be short hardly ever turns out that way. I'm just not a short video type of person. You know, I cut my long videos into shorts once in a while, but I'm a long form video creator. So anyway, thank you for watching. I just wanted to share that with you. Thanks for watching.